Alright, welcome to the podcast, everybody. Today we're doing a more serious episode. Ooh.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the coronavirus.
So original.
Ooh. I do want to say a disclaimer, though. We did some research on the topic, and some of our sources might be a little outdated. And this was recorded on August 31st, so it's possible there's also new information out there that we don't know.
Mm-hmm. If you're from the future, come back and tell us, is it worse? Because it probably is worse. Yeah. Hopefully it will be mostly accurate, though. Big thing we're going to talk about today is that whole study with the bandanas and neck gaiters, and there was a study where they're like, oh, they don't work. But we're going to discuss that, so yeah, get prepared.
And then you also wanted to talk about, coronavirus and what politicians have said about it.
Yep. Spoiler alert, they've lied.
Well, we live here and we're living it, so just look around.
Hey, I don't know. We don't know where our viewers are watching from. Last time, didn't we get like somebody from like Germany or something?
I don't remember.
I just remember you texted me like, "Wow, we got someone from blank," and I know it wasn't America, and I was like, "Oh wow."
Oh, yeah, true.
So shout out to our international viewers. What's up?
Or
Or
listeners.
international viewer.
I think there's two, because I think I also saw someone from Ireland.
Oh yeah, that was the person I remember, and I joked. I'm like, maybe it's Jacksepticeye. Top of the morning to you laddies.
All right.
All right. Anyways, let's do this shit.
Which one do you want to start with?
Well, considering I mentioned it first, I feel it'd be cool to start with the whole neck gaiter thing.
Okay.
So there was a study. I remember Vivian here actually sent me it that said neck gaiters were less effective than not wearing a mask because the fabric of the bandanas and gaiters actually made, because you know how we spread coronavirus is droplets through our mouth, and that's why we wear masks. But it was saying that the fabric of those would split apart the droplets and make more droplets, almost like kind of think like a shotgun blast of droplets. And yeah.
Well, actually, that's not really what the study was meant to look at. It was meant to like just show us that masks work. They weren't trying to prove which one's the best mask.
Yeah, you're right. I sorry.
If you look closer at the study, Jackson, it's like you're not doing any better than this media article.
No, it's just the neck gaiter thing is the one big thing I remember from this study, so it just takes over my brain whenever I think about it.
Yeah, that's why I sent you the actual study, and
I know, but I read it, and even then, it still takes over my mind because it's the big point of it.
yeah. But I feel like when people who don't understand statistics or how science works, like, just because you have to look at the limitations of the study. If you look closer, yeah.
Well, I know.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
if you look
Go
closer,
ahead.
then they do talk about a lot of the limitations in their study. And they didn't even,
Well, yeah, wasn't that the was.
they used a cell phone camera to record this. Like, think about the quality of your cell phone camera. Like, you're not going to see the little tiny things. So there's a very big limitation to what field of view they have.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna get to that because I remember that was the whole big reason why this study got kind of disproved, because they were like, wait a minute, you guys did this on a cell phone camera?
They didn't even spend $200 to do this. Like, this was meant to just be at the beginning of something. Like, they're going to do follow-up studies, but this is just the first one.
Yep. But the problem is a bunch of news media outlets heard the big part of it and were like, oh my god, neck gaiters and bandanas are awful. It's like, no, 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 no.
We actually looked at two media articles. We looked at one from the Washington Post. This was written and posted at August 11th. And they were talking about how they were going off the idea that the neck gaiters were not very effective.
Mm-hmm.
But if you logically think about it, like, you're still getting, like, that their airflow is still being blocked. Like, why would it, like, create more air droplets than it would?
Exactly.
Like, that just doesn't make sense.
I remember. Well, that's what I remember when you had sent me that study. You're like, "Oh my gosh, look!" Well, not the study, but the news article. I remember my first thought was, "Are you sure, Vivian?"
I know. I was just like, I think it was definitely mostly shock when I saw the
Oh,
headline.
that's the impression I got. That's why I didn't. I honestly didn't. When you said I didn't take it
Yeah,
too seriously because I wasn't shocked by it. I was just like, mm.
that makes sense.
But another big thing I remember from our discussion on this is we had the two news articles.
So I sent Jackson two different articles. I sent him one with that one that was sensationalizing what the numbers were from the study without actually looking at the limitations. And then I sent another article
Yep.
that took a closer look and actually used the science and looked closer at what the article was saying.
Yeah, and then it was like that article was like, "Hey, wait a minute. That's not what we're trying to say with the study."
Yeah, if you look closer at the article, you can see, like, in their limitations section that they do address that
Oh yeah.
they used a cell phone camera, and that the whole point of the study was that they wanted to use things that were easily available to your average person. Like, you can
Yep.
easily buy the laser that they used. You can easily
Exactly.
have a cell phone camera.
Mhm.
And the thing was, they had a very small sample size. They used 4 speakers for masks at most, and they didn't even use all four not all 4 speakers even used every single type of mask that they tested.
Oh yeah.
There
It's
were only
like
like 3 of them that all 4 people tested.
it's kind of like me. Like I get what they were trying to go with this study. I honestly kind of feel like it was a bad idea though. Like their intentions were good, but I feel like they really should have. I get like trying like, oh, let's use something that everyday people can use, but I don't know. I feel like with this sort of study, I'm like maybe that's not the best idea.
I
Just with the current. Well, I mean, just with the current climate in the world. Like, look what happened. It got
well,
sensationalized.
that's very normal for, like, all research though.
I know.
Like there was a shrimp on the treadmill study that was done a long while ago,
Oh yeah,
and,
that one.
like, people literally thought that the scientists were spending, like, hundreds of dollars to buy treadmills for these shrimp just to run on. But no, they were doing it to measure their aerobic respiration or something, and they build everything themselves for like $50. So I get it.
And also, it's like, also, if somebody was like, dude, look, the scientists are spending hundreds of dollars to buy treadmills for shrimp, I'd just be like, yo, dude, that's awesome.
I feel like the problem wasn't the methodology. I feel like the problem was more like the news report, the journalists themselves. In If they, like, when they don't.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's their job to report the news, right? So shouldn't they? And they're supposed to deliver us facts. So it's
Yeah.
also their job to make sure that all their facts are straight.
Yeah. It's like we need them fact checkers.
Yeah. But this person, I feel like it's like also a journalist. It's not like they all have like a strong scientific background.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be helpful too if more. I don't know if they do, but it'd be helpful if they got. When looking at these sort of studies, I think it'd be helpful if they got like a scientific consultant or something. They probably already do. I hope they do. But that would be a good idea.
I know that's a thing because, like, I was watching a separate thing. I was watching a video about, like, different routes you can do with, like, like, different things you can do with a PhD degree. Like, you can be a scientific journalist. Like, there are, like, actual positions for that. I just feel like they should keep the scientific news to the scientists who understand it and not just
Exactly.
a random person.
Yeah, don't just like drop a story on some random Joe's desk. Be like, all right, report. And he's like, I don't know what this means. They're like, cool, report it. He's like, ah.
I know, exactly. Like, it should stick with someone who is within that field. Not just, don't, like, you're not going to find me going around talking to people about history and geography. You know how I have no skills in those fields.
I was gonna say that's my job.
I feel like it's more our friend's job, not really us.
Well, no, I can do the history. He can do the geography.
Well, he did major in it. I got no geography skills. I don't even know left from right at this point, honestly.
That's why I said he can do the geography.
It's like, where's north? It's up, right?
Yeah. Sure. All right. Should we move on to politicians?
Sure.
So, as many of our American, I'll say this like we'll get a lot of viewers. Hey, I can be helpful, but many of our American viewers will know the coronavirus, specifically the wearing of masks, has become very politicized for some goddamn reason. Because many politicians on the right, they've been, pretty anti-mask, and thus their constituents are also pretty anti-mask, and that's a big problem, because masks are just kind of important.
Yeah. I actually was watching a Vox video, or was it Vice? I think it was Vox. But they were actually talking about, like, how masks were first, like, politicized, like,
Oh, I watched that video too. It was Vox.
but, like, I thought it was really interesting. It's like, you know, like, we all, it's like, you know this is a thing, but you don't really think much about, like, how this all started. I just thought it was really interesting how in that video, like, because one far right, one, I think they were most likely Republican, one politician, like, they were all wearing masks and stuff, like, at the beginning, like, was recommended, and then he got sick, and he blamed it on the mask, saying that he must have caught it by breathing in the corona from the mask. It's like, that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, it's like, bro, that's not how it works.
It's not meant to protect you. It's meant to protect others.
Yeah, the mask is supposed to be your stanky corona breath doesn't get in other people's mouths.
Yeah.
The whole point of mask is everyone wears a mask, so everyone's protected.
That really makes the "my body, my choice" statement really invalid, because it's not even about your body when you're wearing a mask. It's about others, because we can't control the fact that you're breathing on us. You gotta back up away from me, mister.
Back the fuck up.
Yeah.
Also, that whole thing when they're now using the statement "my body, my choice," I just want to slap them, because they're all anti-abortion, and it's like, okay, and they instantly don't. I'm like, okay, go f yourself. How dare you?
I really don't like how they're just, like, taking these phrases from all these other social movements. It's like,
Oh yeah.
oh my god, it's just so annoying.
Yep.
Please
Privileged
don't.
white people.
Yes.
As I often say to my friends, as a white person, fuck white people.
I feel that as a non-white person. Honestly, who would come to America considering our current situation?
That's what I was saying. You're better off not coming to America. Just run far away.
Just go to the other side of the water.
Go to Europe.
Just stay there. Anywhere but here.
Out of context, makes it sound like we're very anti-immigration.
I mean, that'd be very weird considering my family is made up.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's like, so I shouldn't be here.
It's like, I don't think immigrants should be allowed here, so I'm leaving.
It's like, isn't that what you're against? It's like, if you're anti-immigration, why are you immigrating?
Literally every white person in America, it's like, I'm anti-immigrant. I'm like, yeah, guess what your, like, grandparents were?
Yup.
Or in my
Unless
case...
you're...
Or in my case, I think...
Unless you're a Native American.
Or in my case, I think great-grandparents or grandparents. I don't remember.
I just got parents, so no greats involved.
I know, yeah, I've never met my great-grandparents. I just know, I think they were the immigrants.
I've never even met my grandparents, honestly.
Well, no, I think they both... No. I think both my great and grandparents were immigrants, because I think my great-grandparents brought my grandparents over with them, probably. I don't know.
So, you sent me something about injecting bleach?
Anyway, back to topic. Yes, our glorious leader, Donald J. Trump, was at some fucking press conference, and for some reason he was like, so I heard about, like, bleach or disinfectant. We could talk about, like, injection, right? What he fails to realize, if you inject bleach into yourself,
yeah,
you die. You die. It's like, yes, it'll clean your insides of life.
As the same, like, if you think about it, like, it's like, oh, well, if this was such a great idea, why haven't we thought about it now? Since bleach is, like, it's not, like, a new thing.
Yeah, bleach has been around for a fucking long time.
It's like there's a reason why scientists don't recommend it, and, like, yeah. I just thought it was really funny how, like, immediately after he said that, like, all these, like, people, like, I think it was like, well, like what, like the general. No,
Poison
not the
Control
CDC,
Center?
but someone in. I
Oh.
don't know if they're in the cabinet. I'm really bad at politics sometimes.
Somebody else was like, oh, hey, don't do
It was
this.
like the general surgeon attorney or whatever. I don't remember what the title is,
Yeah.
but like he immediately like sent out a statement saying don't do that, and honestly, who hasn't?
It is kind of sad though, because after President Trump said that, I saw a report, or I think it was on that show I sent you, I don't remember, but I saw a report where the Poison Control Center suddenly just got tons of calls because idiots tried that.
It's like the Tide Pod challenge again.
Well, yeah, it doesn't help that. Oh, I hope this isn't a controversial. I know I'm saying, oh, I hope this isn't a controversial statement, but a lot of people who follow the President Trump, they kind of just do whatever he says, and I'm like, y'all, what the?
All I can say is at least if we had a bleach, well, okay, a bleach shortage would also suck, but we have alternatives to that. It beats having like a shortage of hydroxychloroquine though.
Yeah, which is literally a drug that's used for like lupus patients, if I'm remembering correctly.
It's like I really hate how like all these people just immediately went to the doctor saying like, give me a prescription for this, I need it. It's like, like, my issue would be if you were like the doctor actually did give it to them without like actually like going further with the issue. Like in the end, it's like it's their prescription pad, not the patient's. Like they're there to take care of the patient. It's just like, okay, why? And also, like, doctors prescribe themselves it. It's like, why?
Yeah, well, like, it's like, yeah, we've had problems with doctors, with the opioid crisis, but like, as far as I've heard, I don't think there has been many hydro, hyd, I'll just say for all the hydro prescriptions. I don't know if there's been that many, hopefully, but fingers crossed, there hasn't been many.
Yeah. I mean, also, I remember when this was a more recent thing, like, there were literally, like, news reports of people taking it from, like, it can be found in, like, other, like, normal things. Like, people were taking those things because it contained it.
Oh. Oh.
Like, I don't remember. Something that people use for pets or something like that. I don't remember.
Oh, God.
I was just like, oh, dear. You're desperate? Why don't you just stay home order for a reason?
It's like, yeah, you don't need to take that. Just stay inside. But they're like, I want to go outside. I'm like, stay inside.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, and of course, I believe
I don't mind staying inside.
good old Prezi himself said he's been taking hydroxychloroquine at some point. I'm like, oh, joy.
I mean, there was also, like, mention of a study from the Lancet, in the Lancet in English, I don't know if it's a medical or it's science of some sort journal where they found that the drugs do more harm than good.
Yep, no, that was the big thing. They do way more harm than good. I don't know exactly how they do, but I know they don't help. There was one drug that helped, though. Have you heard of remdesivir?
Mm-hmm.
And how the U.S. saw its citizens buying up all the hydroxychloroquine and go, like, hey, why don't we do that collectively as a country and buy up all this remdesivir so no other country gets any? And it's like,
that really just shows how selfish America is compared to all these other nations.
we don't need all that remdesivir. And even to have it, it's not like it cures corona. It slows recovery time by, like, 3 days. So it doesn't stop people from dying. It just, if they recover like a teensy bit quicker.
It prolongs it.
Huh?
It's not that beneficial.
Yeah. And also, like,
that's what I meant.
other countries needed it.
Honestly, I really don't understand how Americans can be so selfish, even though we are Americans. It's like, I never could identify with that aspect of American culture.
Same.
Like, I feel bad when I'm being selfish. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, me too. I realize I'm unintentionally, like, being selfish and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna stop this right away. Ugh. It's just such a gross feeling, you know?
I know. But one thing I make sure to never get to the point where I get stepped on by other people. Like,
oh yeah, exactly. It's like with not personality types, but conversation types. I think it is, where it's passive, assertive, and aggressive. It's like, you want to be assertive, don't be passive or aggressive.
I'm neither, but I can be aggressive if I'm like moody, but that's just different. That's just,
well, yeah,
I'm moody.
Yeah, that's normal.
That is. And it's also pretty obvious when I'm moody because I am suddenly aggressive about everything.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm usually just like, whatever. Oh no, I'm wearing my emotions on my sleeve.
Oh gosh. Oh no.
Oh my gosh, how dare I? I mean, I'm
Fuck.
just such a girl.
Oh, but with the selfish thing of America, it's very much rooted with how let's see if I can say this word, individualistic our society is, because we're all like, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Don't be afraid of stepping on other people to get to the top. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'll pass.
That's really unique about the country, which is something some people like about, like, I mean, like, outside of here, I can see how some people enjoy that. It's like, I can break free, be my own person, and not, like, be the family person or whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like that. I'm fine.
Well, also, like, when they think, like, I don't have to, it's like, no, that's not what it
Mm-hmm.
means. You don't have to be a family person. It's like, my thing, it's like, all that I'm asking is you don't just fuck over
It's
other
literally
people.
like, okay, well then what's up, like, if how, like, the American ideal was literally being independent, all by yourself, then what's up with the whole American dream family business that literally was just like not even a century ago?
Exactly.
Yes, the whole nuclear family thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty conflicting.
Oh, be your own person, except women. Women, you have to stay in the house. It's like, what? What?
I mean, I love staying home as your typical introvert, but like,
Well, no, I mean, like, they meant stay home as, like, you do all the stuff in the house and the man does nothing. It's like, fuck no.
I can't be here forever. Oh man, I'd be so annoyed, mostly because I like doing things that are beyond that.
Well, also, I would hate it because I'm the kind of,
You would happily be the housemaid.
well, yeah, it's very hard for me to just sit by and watch other people do stuff. Like, I'll do it in my own house sometimes, yeah, just because I get really, like, tired and I don't pay attention, and I
Hmm.
realize later, I'm like, fuck. But, no, I try my best to just be like, hey, let me help with that.
Oh, that's me. Like yesterday, you guys were like, you and our other friends were joking about how my family basically stole me away because I was helping out a lot.
Yeah, because we were like, oh, Vivian will get on soon. Several hours later.
Yeah, they were. We do this daily video chat with some of our friends, and yesterday they chose to talk at like 2 p.m. and I joined at like 8:30. 6.5 hours later. I mean, hey, my weekends are actually surprisingly busy if I'm gonna be honest.
Oh yeah, it's fine. Because well, I know like Sunday isn't that your like chore day kind of?
I mean, sometimes I want it to be a chill day, sometimes I don't care. It kind of just depends on
Oh no, I meant chore day.
chore day.
Excuse
It's
me.
Saturday slash Sunday. Like it could be either. Depends on like
Mm-hmm.
the work week
Yeah.
for my parents. Cause like
Yeah.
laundry day, we do all of our laundry on the same day and all of our chores.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's just all pushed into one day. Sometimes it's Sunday, sometimes it's Saturday.
I love how we're gonna talk about coronavirus now. We're just talking about our daily routines.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a stream of consciousness.
No, it's fine. It's funny.
I said this is kind of more of a stream of consciousness type of thing,
Why,
not
yeah, why do you think we called it our dumb thoughts?
because it's our dumb thoughts, full of our
Yep.
stream of consciousness and everything along with it.
Oh, but back to all the politicians and stuff. Well, I want to say somewhat recently, but time is meaningless. So I don't know if it's actually somewhat recently or like 2 months ago. I literally have no fucking idea.
If you got a date, we can confirm it.
Some Republicans, including our president, finally wore face masks. So I'm hoping from that, at least maybe slowly over time, but slowly then face masks will start to become more popular with the right wingers.
I'm gonna say that was at least a month ago.
That's what I'm thinking too. I just can't remember. Um, of course, though, we're still gonna have our good old Karens being like, "No, I'm not. I don't want to wear a mask. I have a breathing problem." Like, so you have a breathing problem. You're screaming for like an hour. Sure, adds up.
I, yeah, if you have a breathing problem, I wouldn't even do it in the first place. Like Friday, as of this recording, I went biking with a friend. My allergies were
Mm-hmm.
acting up. I did have trouble breathing, but we were biking and there's no one around. So I do admit I did have to pull the mask down on occasion just so I could actually breathe there or just slow down. Like,
I mean, that's fine.
yeah, but it's not like, it's like, okay, if you're having breathing problems, either don't do what you're doing or just
Mm-hmm.
find a way to, like, modify it so that you don't put yourself in that situation.
Exactly. Well, it's like, especially like they're always at like grocery stores and stuff. And like y'all realize curbside pickup is a thing. They will get your groceries for you and put them in your car for you. Just do that, you dummy.
And you don't even have to pay, like, extra for it sometimes. Like, it depends. I don't know. There's different services. Not all services are equal.
I feel like I've only done curbside pickup with Best Buy, but off my Best Buy experience, that no, it doesn't cost any extra.
Oh, yeah, it was free. I did that, too.
Oh yeah.
That's how I got my AirPods.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just they just want attention and they want to feel the main thing is they want to feel oppressed because they're like middle-aged suburban white women. So for the most part, they've never felt oppressed. Obviously, they probably still have faced some things with being a woman, but like, you know, they're like I want drama. I want to feel oppressed. So I'm going to go scream in a grocery store because you see all these videos of Karens. They are like I remember one. It was a Trader Joe's in California. She wasn't buying anything. She was just walking around looking to start shit.
Oh, yeah. I don't understand what puts people in that mindset.
Privilege.
I'm more of a please don't notice me type of person. Like, I will hide if I see someone that I know
Mm-hmm.
instead of greeting them.
Two things. First off, they get that way because of privilege and probably a slight sprinkling of mental health issues. Also, on that topic of hiding from someone you don't know, a little hint. Our next guest on the podcast, I nearly ran into the store recently. I saw her, she didn't see me, and I was just like, hide.
I mean, you also weren't sure if it was her.
No, it was her.
Oh, you confirmed it.
I knew it was her. The reason I was hiding is because I looked like ass.
Oh.
Because I hadn't like showered yet or anything. I was just running to deposit some money and then running back, and I saw her. I was like, oh, don't look at me.
You're gross. I have
Exactly.
a minimum level of presentability when I go out.
Same. I was at my minimum.
I thought you were gonna say I was past my minimum. I was lower than I was rock bottom.
Nope.
Makes sense
I don't
though.
let myself get to that point.
Yeah, I mean, you have shorter hair, so like you can't even just put your hair up and it won't be noticeable.
I just put a hat on.
Yeah, in August. I mean, okay, we're in a city full of hipsters. Is it really that weird if you're wearing a beanie just for fashion?
Nope.
Yeah.
Beanies are also really fun to wear.
Yeah, I just wouldn't wear one right now. I think I would die of dehydration or heat stroke.
Dehydrate. Probably more heat stroke, because I know what you meant with the way you said dehydration. It's like, what, is the beanie just sucking the water out of your body?
I mean, basically, with the amount of sweat it'll make you produce.
That's true, actually. Even better yet, no, wear a ski mask.
Yeah.
The ineffective coronavirus mask, because your mouth and eyes are uncovered.
Oh, well, okay, then the solution to your eyes is just wearing goggles.
I have swim goggles.
I have lab goggles, but my little Asian dainty nose is too small for the nose piece.
You need my big ol' Slav nose.
I need like a prosthetic for my nose to go so I can fit my face in there.
No, you ever seen those people with like the fake elf ears? It's like a little attachment to their ear. You get one of those, like but it's an attachment for it's like a Pinocchio attachment for your nose.
Ooh, like those glasses that people wear with the fake nose. Yes, that's what I need.
Yeah, just rip the nose off one of those glasses and put it on your nose.
It'll be pretty obvious it's fake because I can't grow a mustache.
Take the mustache off. Also, yes, the big plastic nose wasn't obviously fake enough on its own.
Yeah, with the difference in skin tone. Yes, I'm clearly that pale.
Yep, you're white as fuck.
I'm transparent.
Oh god, that reminds me, because I've seen a video, there is actually a species of fish that is actually transparent, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck?
That's actually pretty cool. I think I've definitely seen fish where their skin is basically transparent. Like, you can see their insides.
It's so funny though, that one transparent fish, the fish's face looks so sad. It looks like it's just like, oh, I'm so sad.
Ooh.
It looks like he just got like fucking dumped by his like longtime love.
That sucks.
And I'm like, oh no, simp fish.
Ooh.
Well, on the topic of coronavirus, we talked about masks and stuff, but there's also the fact there are people who just don't think the virus is
Oh,
real.
yeah, I have family who don't even really. I mean, okay, they definitely. I don't really see them regularly, but they don't take it. I feel like they don't take it as big of a deal as they should, if anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think you've told me about them. There's definitely a lot of people like that too, and
I
I'm
can
like, to both the deniers and the people who don't take it seriously, I'm like, both of you, what the
For
fuck?
them, I think it's mostly just a lack of like resources and news media coverage
Mm-hmm.
that they'll understand, because there's that language barrier. Like, I just I wish, like, if you were like, you're in America and this is a nation of immigrants, so like there should be some sort of way for every single person to get the news that they need to get.
Exactly, because some people say like, oh, just put on subtitles. I'm like, subtitles don't work on the news.
And also subtitles, those are expensive. And this is like live time. This isn't going to work.
Exactly.
Because you have to hear and then translate. It's like, oh, just get a translator. Yes, let's get a million translators on live television. This will be a giant Zoom call, basically, right?
Yeah. This also just reminds me of I would categorize these people with people who don't take it seriously. I've had a lot of friends who are just like, oh, I'm just gonna go to college in other states and this, and I'm like, no, what are you doing?
Especially, like, if they're going down
Because
south.
I get with people, they're like, I get people who are like, oh, I want the college experience, and I'm sitting there like, no, you can. This is a deadly pandemic. You can wait.
There's actually...
Like it's.
Keep going.
Hmm? Oh no, you keep going.
Oh, well, I was just going to start saying something.
Oh, then I'll keep going. Yeah, no, I'm just like, y'all can chill and wait for a second.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's gonna probably take a little bit, but it's not worth it to go to college right now. Like, don't get me wrong, college is fun, but like, y'all, like, well, for me also, this was a problem I saw before the pandemic. I feel like people are just too quick to be like, woohoo, college, and I'm like, wait a second, this is a big investment, but especially with the pandemic now, and all of the stupid shit I've seen college students doing related to the coronavirus, I'm like, oh dear God.
Oh, okay. Like, college during Corona, I wouldn't say, like, don't go get a college education. I would just say don't make the normal college experience your, like, necessity. Like apparently at, like,
Yeah.
Portland State, there's actually been, like, an increase in enrollment in some classes, like the more general classes.
Well, what I meant is like, yeah, it's like it's good. It's good to do. I'm just mean like a lot of the people that I know that are rushing, they're not doing it for the classes. They're doing it for the college experience. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get that right now. And if you do, carrot or shame.
I have a friend who's actually going to go back to their campus for the next term, but like it's because they have to. Like, their classes are in person.
Oh yeah.
And like I talked to them recently, and like knowing them, I know they're going to be okay. Like, they're taking all the precautions that they can before this. But if you're like that person who's like, I don't care, I'm just going to go, like, don't even do a 14-day quarantine. Don't even do all of these precautions that you could be taking just to keep yourself safer. But like first of all, just don't go like to the other side of the country just for school. Like hold off on that. Like, what is like what is that word where you like postpone your enrollment, guys? Like, it's still gonna be there
Yeah.
if they let you.
Yeah, it's just not a wise idea right now.
Yeah, just like if you're taking your general education classes, do it at a community college. I mean, I know with the
As someone who goes to community college, yes.
I've taken only 2 community college classes, and they're not bad. They're pretty good.
Same.
I really don't get the stigma people have with community college. It's like, yes, there's an older population. Like, some of them are just trying to get their foot back into going to school, or they're bored.
I think with this whole thing with community college is 2 things. Number 1, you don't get the quote-unquote classic college experience with community college. It's just kind of the classes, really, and then maybe some clubs. And number 2, I feel like a lot of people view it as, like, lower class. Like, oh, they weren't able to get to college, so they go to community college. I'm like, no, it's what community college is. It's a great in-between. between high school and normal college. If anything, in my opinion, community college should be mandatory because it helps you build up all the skills and stuff for normal college, and it helps you actually be like, do I actually want to, like, jump straight into college? And then also, you get all your prereqs done, so, you know, you don't have to spend a crazy amount of time at a four-year university and lose all your money.
I do feel a little mixed about if it were to be made mandatory, because, like, I'm thinking of my experience. Like, I took all those, like, college-level classes, and I was coasting through them. And if you made me go to community college and, like, I'm paying for it, it's like, I'd just be coasting through it, and I wouldn't learn anything from it.
Yeah. I just feel like, in general, like, obviously, for some people, it wouldn't work.
It should be more openly considered.
Yeah, I just feel like it should be, maybe not mandatory, but, like how they push four-year colleges on you in high school, they should be doing that with community colleges.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember in my junior and senior years of high school, they were like, 4 years, and I'm like, whoa, slow down. Well, I say that, but in actuality, they barely told me anything about signing up for college till the end of my junior year. And then I was like, whoa, okay, I'm doing this now.
Yeah, for me, it was like the only reason I knew about all, like, I had to go learn myself. Like, I didn't get much help. Like, I don't even know anyone besides my cousins who have gone to college. And
yeah,
like,
literally, they just kind of throw you in the deep end. They're like, have fun, dummy. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
Like, I literally didn't even really consider taking the SATs or ACTs until I was, like, basically forced to, because
well, yeah, what the ACT is mandatory.
I mean, remember the district provided us with a free chance to take it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have taken it.
Yeah.
Or the SAT, like,
Same.
neither of them. I haven't taken the SATs.
I didn't even take that.
I only took the ACT.
Yeah, I didn't even take the SAT.
I didn't even try.
Same.
I just went in. I mean, okay, the only prep I had was the night before doing a practice essay. That's not even really prep.
They didn't tell me that, that you can, like, skip questions on the math thing, and that's okay. So I got a lot of points lost because I was sitting there trying to figure out problems that I hadn't been taught. But by the way, these were problems I hadn't learned yet. Like, I hadn't had a class to learn about these things. So I was literally sitting there like, what do I do here? And then they were like, oh, look how much you sucked. I'm like, yeah, because you didn't teach me this, dumbass.
At the same time, I kind of, like, developed more of the strategy where it's like, I don't know it, just skip it.
Well, no, yeah, that's what they told me later. Like, oh, if you didn't know, you could have just skipped it. I'm like, well, you could have told me that. Considering this is an official standardized test, I kind of assumed, like, maybe I shouldn't skip things.
I'm very big on skipping things. I'm impatient.
I am too. I just, when it's a standardized test, though, I'm like, I don't know. If they don't tell me unless they tell me I can skip things, on an official, like, test like that, I don't skip things, because I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble.
Well, you can always fill in and just guess at the end. I remember that someone, like, mentioned a trick to me, like, right before we took the test, to, like, oh, when you have, like, those last 2 minutes or whatever, and you're not even done, just take a whole row, like, whole column, and just fill everything in with that. Like, one of those guesses is bound to be correct if you're guessing the same thing every single time. You got a 25% chance.
The American education system, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks.
I also do that on my college exams but I usually finish. I usually have enough time. I haven't really had to do that.
With my college exams so far, first off, I usually studied pretty good, so I did pretty good, and I usually just tried to figure all the stuff out, because also I was lucky, because I had a psych class, and they gave us pretty ample time to finish the exam, because it was at home, so I'm like, oh, nice.
It does make me wonder how you would do in a class, in, like, the type of classes that I've had to take.
I probably wouldn't do so good at first, but once I got used to it, I'd probably be okay.
I mean, like, I would just imagine you, like, maybe starting off, you'd probably be, like, at the lower end, but once you get more used to it, I could see you going more towards the B, maybe A- range.
Yep. Yeah, because, like, my whole thing, especially with, like, biology, I'd understand the material. My problem would just be, like, keeping up with all the stuff, be like, oh my god, there's so much stuff.
It really is. It's a lot to keep up with. I'm fine with it.
It's just, for me, I like, I'm fine with some homework, but I definitely, like, I haven't had, since high school, I haven't had any experience with too much homework, because I've only been able to take one class per college semester, or whatever. That's another story for another day. But, like, definitely hearing from other friends, I hear their amount of, like, homework stuff, like, okay, that's just ridiculous. Like, I get keeping their minds fresh with the stuff when they get home, but I just hear some of their workloads, I'm like, okay, like,
yeah.
it's that's ridiculous. Like, come on, let them have let them have a social life, please.
For me, it's not workload. It's because it's like I give it to myself mostly. Like, no one's forcing me to study. No one's forcing me to do a lot of this stuff. Like,
Oh
my
yeah,
classes.
that's why I said my friends. I
Mhm.
was about to just specifically say you, and I was like, no, 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 you don't really do that.
Yeah, I don't. I chose to not give myself a social life.
Yeah, no, I was thinking more of my another previous friend had one who was also in that group of people who just kind of
Okay.
yeeted off to college in Corona.
Yeah, I know you weren't talking about me.
But she definitely had that. She just had shit tons of homework. She was like, "Oh my god, I have no social life," and I'm like, "Why is this allowed?"
I mean, I know, like,
It didn't help. She went to it didn't help. She went to
ooh,
a private school and did full AP classes. And remember, she told me that. I'm like, "What are you
ooh.
doing?"
Yeah, I do kind of wonder, like, that, the private school that's downtown. I kind of wonder how I would have done if I was there, but I'd also, like, definitely wouldn't be the person that I am. Because I didn't, I,
No, well, That's what I was gonna say. It's like you. I feel like you would have done fine. You'd just be a lot less social.
I know.
You probably would be still pretty like
I'd
introverted.
also probably be,
Like, I mean, you are introverted, but I mean, you'd be like uber introverted
I
probably.
mean, okay, honestly, it wasn't like high school that made me seem more extrovert. It was like mainly getting a job. I think I would just be,
That's what I mean. You would no. That's what I mean. That if you went to that school, you wouldn't have time to work.
true, true. I don't know. Like with, remember like with IB, like the load is crazy, and I still cruised by.
Oh, IB. I thought you said Ivy, and I'm like, who the fuck is Ivy?
I mean, we did have a classmate named Ivy, but
I know. That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, I don't remember you two
no,
being
we
friends, but yeah, no.
weren't.
IB was. I remember. Yeah. Like, I only ever took one IB class, which was English. That's because they forced us to, and it wasn't too bad. But I remember definitely thinking to myself, like, man, if I had like 7 of this class, I'd be like, oh my god.
I basically took all the ones that I could, so I don't. It definitely wasn't like 7 at one time, but it's definitely closer to like.
You overachiever.
It's like maybe like 6 at a time at most.
Well, I was just thinking because I remember there were 7 total class periods
Or
in high school.
let's see. Okay, for the first year of IB, it's definitely like 7. No, it was still 6 because I had pre-calc.
Oh no, there was 8. There was 8 total classes because I remember it was 4 classes.
I'm subtracting like the 2 classes I didn't have that were IB. So yeah, it was like
Yeah,
6 each year for those 2 years.
yeah, I was thinking 7 classes because I had early releases senior year. Actually, no, it was 6 classes for me senior year towards the end of the year because I had a early release both days. Because I remember it was funny. I had early releases both days, and both days ended on a class with the same teacher. Because I had the same teacher. She taught both women in history and government/economics. So every day I'd be like, "Hey, what's up, Miss Hardy?
Yeah.
I'm leaving early."
Uh-huh.
Not from the class, but just
For me,
I remember not because I was disinterested in the subjects, but I'd always fall asleep in those 2 classes because that's the time of the day where I'd always hit a wall and get
Yeah.
tired. So it sucked though because those were my 2 favorite classes. Then I'd just pass out and I'm like, no, I want to hear this.
yeah.
And she'd always be like, hey Jackson, you good? I'd be like, what?
I do remember like there was only like one time, like senior year of our high school was the one time where I had one period without a class, even though it's technically study hall because they wouldn't let us have free periods in the middle of the day, which I would have loved because I didn't want to stay in the school.
I remember that. Yeah. Because we just like go on like adventures.
But like it was some weird rule. Yeah, we did go on some weird adventures, and I didn't break any bones in my body from that, thank goodness.
This reminds me of Women in News History. I had some weird friends in there, and they showed me a really weird thing. Were you there when I told our friends about this yesterday?
Huh?
You weren't. Do you know Orlando Bloom?
What about him? I don't know him personally.
My weird friends randomly showed me a picture of his dick in that class.
Why?
I don't know. They were weird. I was just trying to focus, and they're like, "Hey, look at this." I'm like, "What? Oh, nice. Okay."
Also, how did that even get past like the school like Wi-Fi?
They were probably on data,
Oh, true. And hopefully a VPN.
but I just remember looking over, like, "What do you want?" Oh, that's Legolas's dick. Nice. It's pretty thin.
Yeah, I'm good.
It literally looked like.
I think I would have just died if someone showed me a picture like that. I also probably would have screamed.
Well, my favorite thing about it was it literally looked like an arrow. So I'm like, "Oh, lol."
I think I would have screamed and that would have brought too much attention.
You're like, teacher, look!
No, I would have just screamed like I was in a horror movie.
Yeah, and then me, I was
Not
like,
even like words. It would just be mumble.
I was the opposite. I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah. Then again, I don't go around seeing it every day.
Because I'm like, I see a dick. I see a dick every day, so I'm used to it.
Many times in one day.
Yep. Every time I go pee.
It's your curse.
Not really.
I know, I'm joking.
It's not. I mean, it's like one of those things. It's not pleasant to look at, but it's also not unpleasant to look at. It's literally just there.
Yeah.
I kind of need it to stay there too.
Yeah, you kind of need it. Like, your urethra is there, so, like, kind of essential.
Also, like, if I ever want to have kids,
Yeah, if. I mean, who knows?
have some little buggers.
I love the little boogers.
I said buggers, but that works too.
I call them boogers.
Because kids are germies. Kids are germy as fuck.
They are. They're basically boogers.
Once again, the stupidity of our country. They're back to the topic of the episode. They're trying to open up all the public schools, and no surprise, some schools immediately opened and then immediately had to close because students got sick. And I'm like, what did you fucking think would happen?
I know at least.
I remember the big one. It was in Georgia, I believe. A girl, she took a picture of a crowded, no unmasked hallway because she's like, look at this. And yeah, and then they suspended her over it. And everybody was like, why did you suspend her over that? And they're like,
It's not like she did anything illegal.
all she did was expose them on their bullshit. And they're like, silence her. And it's like, fuck you.
What happened to the First Amendment?
Exactly.
That's unconstitutional, guys.
No, you see, our country only cares about the Second Amendment. They don't give a fuck about the First Amendment. Well, they care about the first... No. They care about the First Amendment, but only for white people. Everyone else can go fuck themselves. And I'm like, no, this is wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they have a very filtered view on what the First Amendment means.
Actually, and that's also the thing. Not even every white person. Only white people that follow the president's views. White people that try to oppose him. It's like, no, you don't speak.
Yes.
And I'm like, I thought we were a democracy, not a dictatorship, but okay.
Oh, yeah. Thank goodness with the public schools here. They haven't started school yet, I think.
Mm-hmm. They better not.
I don't remember, because it's been a while. We don't exactly go to the public schools anymore. We are in the public colleges now.
If you did, I'd be concerned. It's like, damn, how held back are you, Vivian? You're 20 and still going to high school?
I would be concerned, considering how much of an overachiever I am. It's like, what, did I just refuse to graduate so I could take all of the classes?
You're like, I'm a completionist, I'm sorry.
I'm not. I'm too lazy to do that.
Vivian's like, I want 100% high school.
Yes.
I want a platinum I want a platinum high school.
I would avoid all the history classes, though.
Yep, that's fine.
Because I don't like it. I'm so bad at history. It's okay. Someone else can tell me.
I mean, aside from women in U.S. history, it's all just the history of white people anyways, and it's fucking boring.
Yeah. And it's not even, like, the most accurate, the way history is being taught.
Exactly. It's boring and inaccurate and racist.
I feel like the most accurate history classes I've taken was when I was in 8th grade we had to take U.S. history. The only reason I think it was the most accurate was because we were literally using the Howard Zinn books, and he was depicting all of these, like, horrible things, which is what history is. Horrible things.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like generally, if you want to take an accurate history class, just take any class that focuses on, like, a minority group's history. That, in my experience, that's you get the most accuracy out of that, because they're like, yeah, look at all this bad shit white people did. I'm like, I fucking knew it.
I would say, though, if someone wants to read, like, a more accurate depiction of U.S. history, I would recommend reading, like, Howard Zinn's A People's History book.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had to read those, and we had to use those in the History of the Americas classes that I took. And, yeah, I just really like how it's, like, a more, it's like, I haven't read that book in, like, 4 years, so it's kind of like trying to remember something that I don't care about.
It's like more accurate and just, like, truthful.
Yeah, and it's like, it doesn't, like, gloss over, like, the horrible details. Like, it doesn't sugarcoat things.
Exactly. That's why I always tell people, it's like, don't be afraid to go learn history on your own. I did that, and if I hadn't did that, I wouldn't learn about the Tulsa Massacre of, I don't remember the year, but Tulsa Massacre in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where Black Wall Street was, like, bombed. And I was like, oh, they never taught me this in history class.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm just not interested in learning about history. And plus, I have, like, you and other friends that'll just tell me about history, so it's kind of like I'm good.
You got us middlemen.
I have a personal wiki.
Yeah. It also is, it's like with it's the same thing with the civil rights movement. I've been looking at a lot recently because everybody's like, oh, Martin Luther King would denounce these violent protests. It's like, no, he wouldn't.
The only history I will...
He literally has a quote, I believe he literally has a quote called, riots are the language of the unheard.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we think of the civil rights movement as peaceful is because it was basically fucking Disney-fied for white people, so they would freak out over it.
Yeah.
Another crazy thing they done. So you know how you see all those civil rights movement pictures in black and white? They had color photography then. There are color photography of the civil rights movement. They put it in black and white so people think it happened a much longer time ago. And I'm like,
that is messed up.
No, I know it happened recently because I knew it happened recently because it like happened just before my mom was born. So I know it happened recently.
It wasn't even 40 years ago.
No, it was more than 40 years ago.
Isn't it 1960s?
Yeah,
like 1964, right?
Yeah, that's more than 40 years ago.
It's 2020. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
bad. No, I'm supposed to be... Oh, right, I'm Asian. I'm supposed to be good at math. Darn it.
Oh, no. I didn't say it.
Oh, no, I didn't fulfill my stereotypes.
Yeah, no, it's like, fuck, 20, so that's 20 years, 64, so about...
We have 60.
It's almost...
We have, like, 70-something years.
Almost 70.
Well, no, it's past 70.
No.
It's almost 80.
No, almost 60. 80?
Well...
60. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Oh my god, my bad math skills are back.
No.
I need a calculator.
No, it's because 2020 minus 20... No, let me... 2020 minus 20 to 2000, and then it was not... Like, we'll round it up to 1960, so that's 40 years. So it's nearly 60 years. 60 years.
My bad math.
Look at this white boy doing math. Oh, God.
I know, owning up on an Asian. How dare he? Asserting his power. Nah, I just need a calculator.
Asserting his white dominance. Oh, God, I'm gonna stop.
Also, I haven't taken a math class in a year, so...
Same. Fuck math.
I'm taking a math class starting next month, though.
Rip.
I know. If these are my arithmetic skills, who knows where I would be for algebra and calculus.
Yeah. I just hate math classes, because, like, with all the algebra stuff, it's like, I'm only taking this to use it in future classes. I'm like, I want to take classes that give me life skills. Mm-hmm. I've never used algebra in my life. I
hate math class, but that's because I get it very easily, so it's kind of just like, please stop repeating yourself. Just can I move on?
That's another thing I agree on. It's like, I get it. Like, I don't get it at the first thing, like, you might. I don't know if you do, but, like, I'll get it after, like, the second time they say it, but then they keep saying it, I'm like, can we move forward already? Come on.
I mean, okay, I get it because everyone doesn't have equal skills in everything.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
I just wish there was a way to fast forward on a person talking in real life. Can I just press skip?
Vivian, it's called being really good at taking naps and waking up.
Okay, I don't nap.
It's called tactical naps. You just sleep and then, like, magically wake up when they're done talking.
I just don't listen. It doesn't help sometimes, considering sometimes I do miss something.
No, Vivian. I wish there was a way to fast forward through people talking. It's a handy-dandy device called a Nintendo Switch.
That didn't exist when we were in high school.
It's not wrong.
Wait. No, I think it was starting to come out.
When did the Nintendo Switch come out?
Okay, never mind. We were still in high school.
Because I thought it came out 2017.
I'm very bad with time.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I couldn't remember when it came out.
And plus, I've only had one for, like, almost a year now. I can't really tell.
I've had one for, like, 3 months, so yeah.
Yeah, kind of hard to tell.
It's getting, on my timing here, it's getting close to an hour, though, so should we start to wrap up?
Oh, yeah. So, final thoughts, Jackson?
Sure. Well, final thoughts. I'll put it into TLDR format. America's stupid. America's fucked. We'll probably fuck over a lot of the rest of the world too, and yeah.
All I can say is...
Oh, by the way, Nintendo sponsor us.
Please give me a free game. I don't have money. I'm not making any money.
Please give me a free Switch. The Nintendo. If you want, I'll trade you my Switch Lite for a normal Switch.
I would just be like, give me the newer model. Better battery life.
Please. Any final thoughts for you though?
Read the science. Not like just try to stick to the science. Don't take everything the news says. I mean, okay.
Well said.
Like, I just feel like you need to be wary of the news and when they cover science.
Yep.
And like who's covering it.
Oh yeah.
Like
honestly,
even like reputable sources make mistakes. Like that article I sent you that was saying that was talking about how the neck gaiters are like they're worse than not wearing a mask. That was from the Washington Post.
Yep. That's why I was just about to say, it's like, and don't just be wary about selective news. Be wary about all news. Like, their main purpose is to sensationalize stuff to make money, so keep an eye out for that.
I will try to put the links in the descriptions for the episodes for all the things that we used.
Sure thing, yeah.
If I don't at me.